This is probably a surprise to you guys. This video is probably gonna be a shock to you guys, and I'll be honest, it's probably a shock to me too. But despite the Lakers losing, I'm pretty optimistic regardless of anything else. What's good, everybody? It's your boy TB, and I am back. The Lakers just finished their game against the Phoenix Suns. They lost 115-105, but like I said before, I'm pretty optimistic. But before we get into the video, please, if you are new, go ahead and drop a sub for your boy. And if you're not new, you already know what to do. Drop a like for me and comment below what you think about the Lakers loss tonight. So the Lakers played the Phoenix Suns tonight. It was in Phoenix. We lost the game 115-105. AD led the team with 37 points, followed by Lonnie Walker with 24 and Russell Westbrook with 23. Now AD, he had a 37 and 20 point night. He also had 5 steals and 5 blocks to go with that. Now, despite the loss, we're not gonna forget about the fact that he dropped that on Ayton's head. Deandre Ayton is not that guy. We already said this before. The Suns knew this before, which is why they didn't extend him in the first place. But regardless of anything else, AD did his thing, and like I said in last video, I wanted to see the team keep up that level of play that they had in their win streak against a team that's formidable, and the Suns was the perfect team for that, especially in Phoenix in a hostile environment. Now, I absolutely love that AD held his end of the bargain with his level of play and kept it up there, especially against a contending team in the West. Now, I don't think there's any clear contending team because we know what the Suns did last year. We thought they were the clear favorite in the West, and they disappointed us in the playoffs. So I don't really say there's a clear contender in the West, but as of right now, they are the best team in the West, and for AD to do that, it does speak volumes. Russell Westbrook was his old self. He gave us 21 points. He had a couple assists to go with it, but the only thing about Russ that he does need to tighten up, and we already know this is the case with Russ on most nights, but he needs to get his efficiency together, or at least take less shots. Now, I understand he's going to be taking more shots because LeBron is not playing right now, so it's understood, but we need you to hit more shots than you're taking. He went 6 for 20 tonight, and if you could just make at least 3 more of those shots, it could look a little bit more respectable. It can help us a lot more, and just taking a lot more easier shots at the rim as opposed to taking jump shots, taking pull-up mid-ranges and different jumpers that cause more difficulty than a layup, which is what he's best at, finishing at the rim. Now, Dennis Schroeder, this was his second game. Of course, he is still trying to find his rhythm. Tonight he shot 0 for 6, so I can't really put too much on him quite yet. This is his second game back, so of course, even though he had a pretty good game last game, he's still trying to find his rhythm. And I know technically it's his third game back, but I say second game because it's a second game with actual starter like minutes, whereas his first game he only had 10-15 minutes as if he was like a reserve. Now, I touched on it last video, but Pat Bev contributed absolutely nothing once again. Now, I will say he did get 10 rebounds, so let me not say absolutely nothing. The one dude that did contribute absolutely nothing was Troy Brown Jr. He didn't really contribute anything besides a negative plus minus for us, so that was that. Pat Bev, he didn't have any points or anything like that, but like I said, he did have 10 rebounds. 10 rebounds will help you win a game no matter how you slice it, so I can't say he did nothing, but he did close to nothing. Now, with this game only being a 10-point game much of the game, I think with LeBron in this lineup, he is going to make the game a lot closer than what it was. Without LeBron in the lineup, you're essentially left with AD, Russ, and Lonnie Walker to score. Lonnie Walker, it's tough to get him more than 25 points. He can do it, don't get me wrong, he's like that, but it's tough to do that. Russell Westbrook, same thing. These are guys that they thrive at the rim. They're not the best shooters, and it's hard for them to get their buckets. Their buckets, they have to work harder than most players, so it's tough for them to score in the upper echelon with 30 plus scoring on a night-to-night basis. Now, at the end all be all, and we all sound like a broken record at this point, but Pelinka needs to figure out a way to fix this team. Now, with this loss, the Lakers moved to 5-11, and of course, there's moves to be made, but I will say, to provide more optimism, we did beat ourselves this game. I wouldn't say they beat us by talent or they were better than us. We beat ourselves. If you look at the Suns stat line and look at the much of the game in general, they shot a lot of shots. Our defense played pretty well on the defensive end. We just couldn't hit shots down the stretch. I remember in the fourth quarter, from like 9 minutes all the way up until 4 or 5 minutes, we only scored like 2 or 3 baskets in that time, which is tough. tough, especially when you're already down 10 trying to make a run. So it's different things like that where we got to start to make a run at the right time. We're beating ourselves in a lot of these games, but in this game, I will say we beat ourselves above all else. And another reason for us to be optimistic is because they don't beat themselves up when they are beating themselves on the court. They're not having poor body language. The bench looks lively. The players on the court looks lively. The team looks a lot different. I think after that team meeting, I think it looks like a slightly different Lakers team that's starting to turn the hump and figure it out. Like AD has been saying for a while, they just need to figure it out. And I feel like they're putting their best foot forward in doing that. Now, the end of the game, this is the elephant in the room, the end of the game. Austin Reaves was fouled hard by Devin Booker where he was slapped in his face. And after he was slapped in his face, Deandre Ayton stood over him and looked down on him. Now, me personally, I'm doing the same exact thing Patrick Beverley did, which was run up and push Ayton to the ground. I think most of us that have played basketball are doing the exact same thing Patrick Beverley did. Now, after the game, Book said Pat Bev needs to stop pushing people in the back, but I rebuttal with the Suns need to stop being a dirty ass team because they do a lot of dirty underhanded stuff and then try to hide their hands when people react. The way they are, they don't really respect the game 100%, and it shows when they play. It shows in campaign, shows in Ayton, shows in Book. There's something like a play like that isn't a play where you stand over somebody and just look at them, because if you pay attention to the play, D Book stood over him first and then Deandre Ayton came and followed up and did the same. And that's just tasteless, that's classless. I would have done the same thing, Patrick Beverley would have, and I think we all would have done the same thing. That's all I got for you guys in this one. The Lakers have provided some optimism for the rest of the season. It looks like they're really putting their fullest effort into turning the season around. And as a Laker fan, there's nothing more that I can appreciate than that. But until next time, is your boy TB with the greatest hoop stories and debates on the tube, and until next time, I'm out.